Good morning. Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, Amulda, Somadrita.
ঋতুপর্ণা,
হ্যাঁ 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 অমলদা বলো।
বলছি হ্যাঁ ওদের ওই শান্তনু সমাধিতে কেউ থাকতে পারছে না আজকে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ
ওই
শান্তনুদা
কলেজের
ফোন
একটা
করেছিল।
এমার্জেন্সি কাজ
হুম
এসছে,
হুম হুম।
স্ক্যান করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক
হ্যাঁ,
আছে,
ওদের
শান্তনুদা ফোন
দুজনকেই যেতে
করেছিল
হয়েছে,
একটু
যার
আগে।
জন্য ওরা কেউ থাকতে
ঠিক
পারবে না
আছে
আজকে।
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে। আর বললাম কালকে আমি একটা মেল করে দিয়েছি।
হ্যাঁ, ওইখানে ওরা চলে গেছে, ওরা জয়েন
হ্যাঁ
করেনি যার জন্য।
হ্যাঁ, না আমি কালকে একটা মেল করেছি, হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা
দেখেছো তো? কাল
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
রাত্রেবেলায় আমি একটা মেল করেছি তোমাদের, অমলদাকে
হ্যাঁ, ওই
বলছি। হুম হুম হুম। ওই
ইআরটির
হ্যাঁ
ব্যাপারে তো।
হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ
ইআরটি,
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
ঠিক আছে
হ্যাঁ, আমি দেখে দেখে নিচ্ছি, ওটা ওটা এখনো দেখা হয়নি, জাস্ট
ঠিক
মোবাইলে
আছে।
দেখেছি। হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
আমি দেখে নিচ্ছি। হুম হুম।
Okay, all of you are ready with the terminal and SQL prompt. You all are ready. Hmm? First of all, uh, today we are going to do, like last day we did not complete the join. We only did equi join. Am I audible properly? Am I audible, students, properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me check how many have entered. 57. Okay. So last day I did not complete that join, isn't it? Today we are going to complete join, and we will also do PLSQL. Whatever time permits us, let us see how much we can cover in PLSQL. So let us start with PLSQL, okay? Or let us start with join, and then I will go to PLSQL. First of all of you, very fast, I'm telling you a query, you solve that query, okay? Don't take time. Hmm. The query is known to you, the how to solve that is known to you. So find out, just write it, find out the employee name, find out the employee's name, department number, that is department ID, department name, job title for all those employees who do not earn a commission. Find out the employee name, department ID, department name, and job title for all those employees who do not earn a commission. Everybody has a commission column in the employee table. All of you have commission column? Yes or no? What happened today? Feeling sleepy or what? Hmm?
No, ma'am, I don't have it.
Why? Others, what are, let me check. We did it, isn't it? Commission was added in that employee table. If you don't have, add it. Rajkamal Gupta, you don't have, we did not do this commission column in the employee table. It was there, I hope.
No, ma'am. We have salary table, not commission table.
नहीं है मैम।
नहीं है, ठीक है, then change the condition. But what will be the condition if I have commission column, and if I write, if I want, what will be the just commission condition? It will be is who do not earn a commission. So we will say is null. Is null. Now, so change your, just write the condition, let it be where salary is less than 5,000. I want to find out the employee name, department name, department ID, and job title of those persons who earn a salary less than 5,000. Do it. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What? Wait. Let me. Um, who will say? Anyone. Anyone can answer. Other than those who regularly answer. Anyone. Okay. Anamitra Ghosh, tell me. Have you completed? Anamitra, you were present last day?
Yes, ma'am.
তাহলে বলো, what
And
you
it
have.
is the select EMP name,
And
uh, department ID, department
hmm,
name, and job ID from employee, department D and job J, where E dot department ID is equal to D dot department ID, and E dot job ID is equal to J dot job ID, where and salary is greater than 5,000.
একটু ঠিক আছে, একটু ইয়ে হচ্ছে। সানি কুমার, টেল মি দি আনসার ওয়ান্স মোর। আচ্ছা, ডোন্ট সে,
No.
wait. Ayush
Yes.
Das, roll number 56, tell me the answer once more.
Ma'am, select EMP name. Uh, uh, select E. Ma'am, wait, ma'am. Select EMP name, department ID, job
কমা
ID from
কমা কমা
employee.
গুলো বলো, কমা বলো।
हाँ ma'am, EMP name, comma department ID, comma job ID from
wait
employee
wait
where
wait wait
department.
wait 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 দুজনেরই একটাই প্রবলেম হচ্ছে। ডিপার্টমেন্ট আইডি ইজ আ কমন কলাম between which two tables? Between
Ma'am, departments and employee.
department and employee. Fine. If I have
Yes,
a,
ma'am.
all of you listen, if I have a common column, I should mention that from which table you are taking that common column.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. I have mentioned, ma'am.
Where did you mention?
Ma'am, from employee where department ID equal to
না না
bracket.
না 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 ওরকম না। Just let me share the screen once. 1 minute, students. Is it visible? This one? The Word document is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
so what
ma'am.
we will write, I'm not writing it in the SQL prompt because maybe all the columns again, we are in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. That's why I'm writing it here. The syntax is what will be the syntax? I am saying select EMP ID because I don't remember the column names. That's why I'm writing it here. Okay. Suppose this is the column name. EMP ID is not a common column, isn't it? But it is always better whenever you write a join condition or whenever you use join for selecting columns from multiple tables, you should use the abbreviation. It is better. But if you did not use this abbreviation E, or whatever name you give, whatever alias name you give to the table, that alias name should be used before the column name. This is a good practice. Even if you did not give this E dot something, it would not be a problem because EMP ID is only present in employee table. So we don't worry from which table it will be taken from the Cartesian product. But as I said, it is a good practice. So I'm giving E dot EMP ID where E is an alias name that will be given to the employee table. Next, what we have? Department ID. Department ID is present in multiple tables. It's a common column. So the table name from which I want to fetch, I could have written, suppose department's alias name is D. I could have written D dot department ID, or I could have written E dot department ID. From whichever table you want to fetch, you have to write that alias name. Suppose I'm writing E again, E dot department ID. Then I have department name, which is only present in departments table. So I'm writing department underscore name, but it will work, but still we should give the alias. So this has been taken from departments, whose alias name is D, and job ID, a job title, sorry, job title. Job title is present in jobs table, but I will again give the alias name for the table, and then you just write from EMP. E is the alias name, comma, department, D is the alias name, and which one else? What is the other table? Jobs. J is the alias name. Now I have, so this will, if I only write this one, what will happen? It will form the Cartesian product. After forming the Cartesian product among the three tables. So how do the Cartesian product is formed among three tables? First, Cartesian product will be formed between the two tables, the first two, okay? And then with the result of the Cartesian product of the first two, it will form the Cartesian with the other one, the next one. Okay, wait, somebody came, wait. Okay.
Ma'am, we are hearing some noises.
Noise.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, let me close the door then, maybe. Now is it clear? Now, is it all right?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
It's still there, ma'am. It's kind of network interference kind of noise, ma'am.
Acha, then I don't have any option. I cannot help because. But my voice is audible properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, so when you only write this one, if you only write this, it will form the Cartesian product. Basically, if somebody asks you that, how do we form Cartesian product? What should be your answer? Your answer should be, this is actually not the Cartesian product. I have filtered some of the columns. Your answer should be, wait. If I just write select star from EMPE, department T and jobs J, then it is the actual Cartesian, the full Cartesian product. Okay, no selection, nothing has been done. So first E and D will be the Cartesian combination of all the columns, this row combined with that row, this it will form the Cartesian product, and then with that result, it will again form the Cartesian product with jobs table. Clear? This is the way. And now, but we have selected few columns from there. So these are the things. And now I will write the join condition. So yet I did not write till this line. I haven't written the join condition. Now I will add the join condition. So what was your join condition? Where it will be equi-join because there are two columns, common columns among the tables. So first I'm joining department and EMP. So it will be E dot E. What is the common column? Department ID. So E dot department ID is equal to D dot department ID.
Ma'am, someone is waiting.
And what is the next condition? J dot what was the common column there? Job ID, isn't it? J dot job ID is equal to E dot job ID. Let me give a bracket here. These are the equi-join conditions, and what is the other condition I gave you? The other condition was salary. Salary is present in which column? E. So which table? E. So E dot salary is less than 5,000. Okay. Understood? So this was your equi-join, or sometimes we say it's natural join. When we do algebra, we say it's natural join. But here we are referring to this. Why? Because we are equating among the common columns. We are using an equal to operator among the common columns to do the join, to provide the join condition. Okay. Now, suppose, let me give another question. Suppose I want to find out. Acha, first of all, tell me, everybody has a manager ID column in the employee table?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you have? Okay. Now, some of the managers are null. Somebody doesn't have a manager. There are some rows where no manager ID has been mentioned. Isn't it? This is the data. And now if I want to find out, listen carefully. If I want to find out, just write, find out the employee name and their manager name. Find out the employee name and their manager's name. Very short query. Find out how you will do. Find out the employee, maybe employee ID, employee name, and their managers. Well, whoever is the manager of that employee, that manager's name I want to be displayed. So what has to be done? Let me give you a hint. Every manager is an employee. Are you listening? Every manager is an employee. So if you notice your table, the manager ID that you have added, to your table is actually the employee ID, because what ID the person, suppose I am an employee. So I have an ID, isn't it? I have an employee ID. Now that if I am manager of somebody, then I will use that ID itself, isn't it? Because the manager itself is an employee. So the manager is not someone who is not belonging to the company. Manager belongs to the company and is an employee of the company. Okay, this is the hint. Now what we have to do? We don't have manager's name as a column in our table, isn't it? But what we have, what is known to us, since every manager is an employee and we know the employee's name, So we also know the manager's name. So for example, if I say, if you go to your table, okay, let me just go to my table. Wait. Password. Okay. So if I just select my table, the screen is visible. Screen is visible. See, now it's coming in a proper way. I did set line size 200. Okay. Now, what did I select? EMP ID, EMP name, and manager ID. So employee ID E1 doesn't have a manager. Okay. Employee ID E2's manager name is what? Can anybody tell me? E1 doesn't have a manager. E2 is null. Acha, E3's manager is E2, but Acha, very fast, any one of you, tell me, I want to update the manager ID of E2. I want to update it to E1. So what I will write?
Update table name. Then set column name.
What I will write?
MGR ID.
MDR ID. Acha.
MGR ID is equal to which we have to set.
MDR is equal to
E2
E1.
E3.
E1.
Where employee ID is, where EMP ID equals to E2.
One row updated. Right. Okay. And if I want to select who doesn't have a manager, let me just tell me what I will write. Tell me.
Question, ma'am, again.
Who doesn't have a manager? The person who doesn't have a manager.
Where MGR ID is null. Where what? Equals to null.
Equal to no. So who is the person? E1 doesn't have a manager. Okay. Now I don't never say equal to null because null means no value. So I cannot equate with no value. Okay, so it will be is null. Now the thing that I wanted is, so let me go back to this table. This one. Now here you can see E1 doesn't have a manager. And what is the name of E2's manager? What is the name of E2's manager?
FRT.
FRT तो नीचे ना.
E1.
E1 is the
Steven.
name.
Steven.
Steven.
So E2's manager's name is Steven. E2's manager's name is Steven. E3's manager's name is what?
FRT.
FRT. E4 manager's name is
FRT.
Okay. Okay, so how did you get this? Can any, if you notice, how did I get this? First of all, this was my table, the original table, suppose. Now there, first of all, I found that whose managers I want. So what is the manager ID of that person I found first, isn't it? So I first found that, okay, E2, what is the manager ID of E2? So I first time referenced the table and found what is the manager ID of E2. This is the thing I did. Next time I again referenced the same table. I referred to the same table, and since in my hand I have manager ID E2, manager ID E1 for E2 employee. So next time when I referred to the table, I went to the E1 row, and then I found what is the name of E1? That is Steven. This is the thing I did. So what I did, let me repeat. First time I found that, okay, let me start with the second row because first row is null. Okay, just for explanation. Now I start, first of all, I started with the second row E2, and first thing I did is I referred to the table and found what is the manager ID of E2. And then what did I get? I got E1 is the manager ID of E2. Okay. Now in my hand, I have the manager ID E1. Now I referred to the table again. I referred to the table for the second time. And then I went to E1 row, wherever E1 is present, and I found I searched what is the name of E1. So I got it from here. Okay, E1's name is Steven. Hence my answer is E2's manager's name is Steven. Okay, 2 times I referred to the same table. Now, this referring to the same table twice is known as what? Self-join. Till now, what we know is whenever we require columns from multiple tables, then we do join. It is equi-join, non-equi-join also I showed one. Now, non-equi-join means no equal to operator is used. Other than that, we can join the two tables based on some other relational operator, less than, greater than, between. These operators can be used. Now, what is this self-join? Self-join means I am joining the table with itself. I am joining a table with itself. So here, in this particular query, we have to do self-join because everything is present in the same table. But I don't know what is the manager name, which could again be found out from the same table itself by joining. Okay. So how do we do self-join? What we have to do? Let me go to the Word document again. Is it visible? Word document? Visible? What document is visible? Yes, ma'am. All of you had a breakfast? No. Had tea? Yes, ma'am. Have a tea. Otherwise, today you are feeling, because weather is also it's a rainy weather, and you are feeling sleepy, maybe, because none of you are responding properly. Anyway, so if I draw the table, what I will do, let me just show you once in this manner. Suppose I have three columns only. So I have three columns. This is one of the table, and I have the same table again. I have 3 columns. Okay, so that I can show you properly. That's why I'm taking 3 columns. Manager ID, and this one is same. Okay. Now what I will do? Let me add two records here. E1, ABC doesn't have a manager, and E2, whatever, and has a manager, E1. Same records are present in this other table. Okay. Now I will join these two. So what is the name of this one? The name of this table is EMP. And this one is also EMP. Now, just 1 minute, let me save it.
Ma'am, please try changing your earphone. It's buzzing a lot.
Okay, wait, let me bring another. Is it okay? Hmm? Is it okay?
No, ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
मैम रिकनेक्ट करें.
हाँ, एक बार हम reconnect कर रहे हैं. Now just check. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Achha. Screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm saving. Wait. This was. Okay, so everything is visible, isn't it? EMP table. Now, when I join the two table, first of all, I will form the Cartesian product. Now, see, since I am referring to the same table twice, so we are joining it. And how? What I will write here? I will write select. Select statement I am writing later on from. From which table? EMP table. Okay. From EMP table, give a name E, comma. Again EMP table, give another name M. I have given two names. One is, suppose this one is E and this one is M. Okay. Now what will be the condition? Let us check. Where where what I have to check, can anybody tell me where? Can I write where what I will match? First time,
Primary key or foreign.
no. Primary key, foreign key now. First of all, when I am referring to the table first time, what I'm actually getting in my hand, manager ID, isn't it? Then later on, what I'm referring in the for the second time when I'm referring to the table, I have the manager ID. I'm equating the manager ID E1 with employee ID E1, where E1 is present. I'm finding out that. Then I'm referring to the name, isn't it? The first time I'm getting in my hand the manager ID. So can I write where E is the first table. So first time I'm getting E dot manager ID. E dot manager ID is equal to where I will go. Second time I'm coming to the second table where E dot manager ID is equal to, what should I write?
M dot EMP ID.
Very good. M dot EMP ID. So first time E1 in my hand I have E1, the manager ID, and then I'm coming to the table again and I'm finding out E1 kahan par hai, where E1 is present. So I'm equating E1 with this employee ID E1. Clear? So employee ID E1 is matching wherever it is matching. What I'm selecting from there? What I'm selecting? I want to display what? I want to display the employee ID, employee name, and manager's name. So employee ID is from which table I will select the employee ID?
E.
E. I will write E dot EMP ID. Actually, this is the employee ID, comma. What else I want to select? Employee name. So employee name is, again, E2 is suppose the employee ID. So employee name is whatever is the name. So E dot EMP name, comma. What else I will select? Manager's name. So from which table I will get the manager's name? M table, not this table, isn't it? So M. So from here, second reference, I am getting E1's name is ABC. So I will write M dot what?
EMP name.
EMP name. Is this clear? Or I will explain it once more. Let me explain it once more. So what I did, I first created a Cartesian product among this EMP table and EMP table. So what will be your records? Your records will be somewhat like this: E1 ABC null, E1 ABC null. Again, E1 ABC null, E2 drew E1. Second, E2 drew E1, E1 ABC null, E2 drew E1, E2 drew E1. This will be your Cartesian product. 2 into 2, 4 records will be there in the Cartesian product. Now, since they are both, I have given an alias name to both of them. EMP, once it is given E and another time it is given M. Now, first time, what I am doing, I am equating. First time when I am referring to the first E table, I am finding out what is the manager ID. So E1 is the manager ID. Next time, again, I am referring to the table and finding out where E1 is present because I want E1's name. E1 is the manager, I want its name. So where E1 is present, I am equating EMP ID of M with manager ID of E. EMP ID of M with manager ID of E. Actually, they are the common. It is, you remember, we did self-referential integrity constraint. So here, who is primary key is EMP ID and manager ID for the EMP table, manager ID is the foreign key. It is referring to the primary key EMP ID. So there is actually a reference between EMP ID and manager ID, self-referential integrity constraint. So this is the foreign key, okay? Actually, this is the foreign key. Same values are present. Whatever in the EMP ID column I have, same values are present in the manager ID. So we can also color manager ID, which is the foreign key. I can write it here. This is the actual foreign key and this is the primary key you have already done. Okay. Now, once we are equating these two, now what I did, I selected. What I selected first, I want the EMP ID. So EMP ID is present here. Suppose E2 is the EMP ID. From E table, I am selecting the EMP ID. EMP name, I am selecting again from here. Drew is the name of E2. And manager's name, I will select from which table? This table. So who is the manager name? ABC is the manager's name. For whom? For wherever E1 and this E1 matches, I am finding out the corresponding name. So your answer will be E2 Drew ABC. E2 Drew, manager's name is ABC. Clear? Now, when you do this query, you will see that all of you do. What is the time? 10:15. When you do this query, you will see that these null, wherever manager ID is null, null cannot be matched with something, isn't it? If it is null, my condition, the condition, joint condition here was E dot manager ID is equal to M dot EMP ID. Now these cannot be, when it is null, one of them is null, I cannot do equal to, isn't it? So what happens is, for after forming the Cartesian product, these null rows, wherever these are null, they get excluded from your results. So the answer that E1 doesn't have a manager, or the information what is the name of E1, that is also vanished. Only the result that we are going to get is E2 Drew, manager name is ABC. But we should get, so we are losing some information. What we are losing? We are losing the information where maybe one of the column is null. Maybe the joint condition, one of the column is null. So we are losing that information, that what was the name of E1, that information is also, as if E1 is not an employee. I mean, something like this. So you are getting a partial result. You are not getting the actual result. And if you think that, no ma'am, we don't want null, those who don't have a manager, I don't want that row, then you can obviously do this. But if you want, if your application is such that it wants that every record, no loss of information should happen, then you have to do what join? You have to do, can anybody tell me what join? What join we will do? You have studied in algebra. Outer join. Okay. So what we will do? We will do outer join. What is the meaning of this outer join? Outer join means when we use outer join, when we are losing some information, because the joint condition, in case wherever I have no information there, those particular rows are getting discarded. Okay. So if I want those records, then I use, if I suppose some records are here, maybe employee ID is null. In this case, it won't happen because it's a primary key. But suppose here also in this M table, I have some null, and in the E table also, I have some null. Okay, due to which those records are getting discarded. If I want that all the discarded records from E table, as well as, listen carefully, all the discarded records from M table, both should be present. Everything from this table as well as that table, whichever got discarded, those should be present. Then I will use full outer join. Full means both the tables, whatever has been discarded due to null, no information, I want those, then I will do full outer join. Okay. But if I want that only from this table, I will from employee E table, I want the information, I don't want the information from M table, then I will do left outer join and right outer join. Wherever you place your in the condition, I will show you in the condition, whichever side you place. If you want from E table, you put a if you want full outer join, you put a plus on both the sides. Okay. This is one of the way of mentioning full outer join. This is left outer join, if I don't mention it here, and this one is right outer join. This is one of the method by giving plus. But even if you don't give plus, you could have written something like this, the keywords left outer join. For example, suppose I'm writing from employee E, employee M, then I'm writing left outer join, left outer join, then I'm writing EMP M, left outer join EMP M on wait on, give a bracket. This is another syntax. You may not use this. This dot manager ID is equal to, you need to give a bracket here. Okay, so what we did, from we wrote both the tables. We are doing self join, so both the tables we have mentioned. Sorry, from both the table is not required here. From EMPE, then left outer join EMP M on the join condition, whatever is your join condition. Okay, so what happens? Whichever row got deleted in due to manager null, that record will get in this table. Manager was null, so I did left, because see, left side we had E table. So in the E table, manager ID was null, so it was getting discarded. So I did left outer join, and hence what will happen? E1 doesn't have a manager. That record, that full row will also be displayed. Okay. Acha. You will solve queries. I will give you queries, but not now. Okay, you will do this at home. Okay, so that we can shift to PLSQL. But will you do one query? Wait. Can acha, last day, while you were solving group by, some queries were there on join, isn't it? I asked you to leave that query. You remember? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, last day when you were doing group by, I asked you to leave some queries, isn't it? Because joining of tables was required. Go to that question. Go to those questions. Have you solved those at home?
Yes, ma'am.
Have solved it. Okay. Then just do this query, whatever I showed you, just do it and check whether it's working or not.
And which one should we do now? Like the one you gave now, or that the assignment you have project in the project classes? Ma'am, which one we should do now? Like
The one I just showed, just check it once and then we will shift to PLSQL. Okay. And then later on, I will give you assignments. You will solve at home and then you will upload. Here. Otherwise, you'll take a lot of time to solve, and hence just check this one, the manager names.
Can you show the statements once more?
Do with plus also you can do.
Ma'am, but we don't have table M.
Exactly. Who asked me this question? Sunny. Sunny Kumar. Who asked? Just now
Yes,
who
ma'am.
asked? Sunny Kumar, तुम क्या समझे इतना देर तक? हाँ? Table M is required. ये तो सेल्फ ज्वाइन हो रहे हैं. सेम टेबल एम्प्लॉय टेबल कोई तो ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं उसका एक साथ. मैंने दोनों. टेबल एम क्यों चाहिए? टेबल एम तो is an alias name given to the employee table.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you share the query again?
Can you show the left?
Find the query is this one. Find out the employee ID, employee name, and manager's name. করে দেখো এটা কাজ করছে কিনা.
Ma'am, the answer.
After on is showing it's missing some expression.
Hmm?
After on, it is showing missing some expression.
এটাকে ফার্স্ট ব্র্যাকেট. First of all, don't do outer join. First of all, you just do self join and check whether what answer you are getting.
Yes, ma'am. First bracket is working.
Huh?
First bracket is working.
First bracket is working. First of all, you don't do left outer join. First, you show me the result of without outer join. What result you are getting? You show me that first. If you have done, you will update this query. I will give you another query. Find out the employee's ID. Find out the employee's ID and hire date of employee's ID, employee's hire date, and manager's hire date for those employees who were hired before their managers. देखिए पारी. So what you have to do? Find out the employee ID, employee name, employee's hire date, manager's hire date. For which employees? For those employees who were hired before their managers. Okay, understood? You have to find out the employee's ID, their name, their hire date, and the corresponding manager, whoever is the manager of that employee, corresponding manager's hire date. For which employees you have to find these details? For those who were hired before their who joined the company before their manager has joined. So all of you have hire date in the EMP table. So do it. First you solve the previous query and then I want to check who can solve this query. Take 5 minutes time. আই এম কামিং বাই 5 মিনিটস। আচ্ছা অমলদা, একটু অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা নিয়ে নিতে পারো এখন।
হ্যাঁ, নিয়ে নিচ্ছি।
You have given the choice for your electives.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Did anybody complete?
Ma'am, the previous query it is showing invalid table name.
টেবিল নেম কেন ইনভ্যালিড দেখাবে? ইনভ্যালিড একটাই তো টেবিল, ইএমপি।
Yes, ma'am.
তোমার টেবিল নেমটা কি আছে সেটা দেখো।
Check.
Nikki Priya?
I'm done.
You were done, Avina. Wait. Nikki Priya, you were absent the other days, isn't it?
No, ma'am. I was present.
All the days you were present.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I did not notice that you were present. Okay, who said Avinav Kumar? Avinav Kumar, last day you were absent. What happened? ऐसे ही
कुछ
काम था।
आउट ऑफ स्टेशन थे।
अच्छा हाँ, कंप्लीट हुआ। शेयर योर स्क्रीन।
Hello.
It's visible. Visible. It's visible.
Good.
1 minute. What you did? Wait 1 minute. What you did? Select which query you are showing, Abhinav? Higher date one. Acha. Select e.empid e.emp name. Higher date as emp name, higher date from, and e dot higher date is less than m dot higher date. Okay. So what result did you get? Did you get the correct result?
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you checked?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It is.
So basically, can you explain what you did to your friends?
I selected the respective columns, and then I matched the if the higher date of the employee is lower than the higher date of the manager.
So कैसे self join? How did you do the self join? Can you explain?
No, ma'am.
हाँ? क्या नहीं? Self join कैसे किया हो बताओ?
Ma'am,
I
in
checked
outer join
it
there are
on.
more data.
Sunny, what?
Ma'am, in outer join there are more data coming. Like where manager ID is null.
Wait, I'm
That
coming to
also
that.
is good.
Acha, wait. Here.
Ma'am, I just checked if the manager ID of employee is equal
That
to the
means
employee.
okay. Just you do you stop sharing, Abhinav.
I mean, the left outer join I was getting error, ma'am.
Acha. Just stop sharing. So what Abhinav did, or what we have to do is, in this query we have to, what we have to solve, we have to find out the manager's details, employees details, hire dates, and these things. And since every column is present in the same table, we have to do self join, joining the table with the same table. Now, in the self join, just I showed that manager ID. First, I will let me go to the table. Wait. In this table, what we will do, we will join E and M, and what we are going to find, that this manager ID. First, I will find out. I will match manager ID with EMP ID. Okay. So my join condition, because this is actually the common column. So my join condition will be E dot manager ID is equal to M dot EMP ID. Fine. Now what I will do, I will find out the hire date of this person. Let me add a column here. Hire dates. Here also I have hire date. So what I will do is, I will let me add, suppose in order to understand easily, I have a record here. Now, who came now? Ayush Chakraborty. So hire date, let me give a hire date, suppose 12th. I'm not mentioning. So suppose E1 is the manager of E2, isn't it? So E1 has E2 has a hire date, 12th October. Something, it's not the correct format, just I have written in this way. So 12th October 1967, suppose. Okay, so this is an hire date of E2. And E2's manager is E1. E1's hire date is, suppose, 16th November 1968. Okay, so E2 is a employee who has been hired before E1. Now, how we are going to find that? So first, what we have to find out is who is the manager of E1, E2. Sorry, who is the manager of E2? So I got that E1 is the manager of E2. E1 is the manager of E2. Now, what I do? I go to the M table again. Second time I'm referring the same table. So I get, okay, E1 and E1 is matching here. Hence, I find out the corresponding hire date. Okay. Now, so M dot hire date will give you the hire date of the manager. That is E1. Whereas E dot hire date will give you the hire date of the employee E2. Clear? So E is containing the details of employees, hire date, and M, when I'm referring with E1 as whose manager ID is E1, E2's manager ID is E1. So when I'm getting E, I'm going to the second time I'm referring the table. So E1's hire date value will be actually the manager's hire date. Now wherever I get E dot hire date, that is the employee's hire date, less than M dot hire date will give you what? Here what I'm getting? 16th. So these are the records. Wherever I will get E1 is the manager, I'm coming here and then I'm getting 16th November 1968. And what is in my hand? E dot hire date is 12th October 1967. So this is less. Since this condition is satisfied, so I will fetch this record. Okay, so what will be my record? E2, manager ID is E1, hire date of E2 is 12th October and hire date of E2's manager, that is E1, is 16th November. So what will be your query? Your query will be, Avinav, tell me, select E dot EMP ID I want to select. What else I want to select? What was my query written here? Find out the employee's ID, employee name. So E dot EMP name. What else? Employee's hire date. So E dot hire date. What else? Manager's hire date. So M dot hire date. M dot hire date. From which table? From
EMP.
From EMP E, comma another one is EMP N. Now the joint condition where
E dot MGR.
EMP ID is equal to M dot MG, E dot MGR ID is equal to M dot EMP ID. And what else?
E dot
E dot hire date.
E dot hire date.
E dot hire date less than M dot hire date.
E dot hire date is giving employee's hire date less than the manager's hire date. So in the Cartesian product, whichever row satisfies both the condition, manager ID and EMP ID is matching as well as hire date of this table and that one is less. So wherever these two conditions are matching, those records will be fetched from the Cartesian product. Okay.
Okay. Now, what is the time? 10:44. Acha. Let me show you here itself. When I write, all of you just give the heading PLSQL. There are a lot of things, but time is very restricted. It stands for It stands for procedural language. PL means procedural language, which has 3 sections. I will be little bit faster. Okay, listen carefully. PLSQL stands for procedural language, which has 3 sections. What are the 3 sections? The 3 sections are: one is declare section. One is declare section. We have uh, exception executable section. Executable section, and we have this exception section, and sometimes we say there is an end of execution section. Okay, so this is just executable section ends here. Declare and exception section is optional. In a PLSQL code, I may have declare section, I may not have. Exception also I may have, I may not have. But executable section, which is written using begin and it is ended using end, these are mandatory. Even if I, whatever I write, begin and end should be there. Within the begin, what I write, we write all executable statements. The logic of the application, whatever I'm doing. I can also declare variables within the begin section. Now, what we do in the declare section? In the declare section, it starts with the keyword declare, and it is used for declaration of variables. It is used for declaration of cursors. Cursor, I don't know whether I will get time to teach. So it is used for declaring variables. It is used for declaring cursors. In the exception, though, we use for doing some error checking. Okay. Now, variable declaration, it can be done in the begin section also. So let us come to the details. Instead of theoretically saying, we will see what are the things we can do. Now, suppose I want to print something. Printing, I want to print. So I am writing declare. I'm writing it here, okay? It would be better if I would have written in a notepad so that I could execute. Wait. Is it visible? This is visible. So all of you open an editor, whatever editor you have. Save the file with .sql. Suppose I'm writing R1. Now I'm writing declare. So I start with this declare. Then I'm declaring a variable. Okay. How do I declare a variable? There are 2 methods. One of the method is whatever we have. So why we are writing PLSQL, I did not mention. The thing is, suppose if I want to find out, if I want to use loop, sometimes some application requires loop, if-else condition, all these things, programming logics can be written using PLSQL. We cannot do it using plain SQL. For example, if I want to suppose, if I want to check that if the salary of black is less than this one, then you go and insert a record into the other table. Can I do it? All this condition checking, can I do it with plain SQL? No, I have to write some programming constructs, isn't it? So in order to do this programming things, loop, condition checking, all these things, we require programming procedural language, which is known as this PLSQL. So I will show you what things we can do here. So for the time being, we are just printing, taking a variable and printing. When I take a variable, whatever data type you have learned in SQL, those data types can be obviously used in while writing this PLSQL. Now, in the PLSQL, we also have some SQL codes. Okay, don't think SQL is gone. No, SQL codes are obviously there. Ultimately, inserting into a table will be done using insert command only. Okay, updation due to some condition, if I want to update, I have to do update statement only. So it has some programming constructs as well as SQL part gets executed in the SQL engine, gets separated, and the PLSQL, the programming constructs that we use, those are executed in the PLSQL engine. These are different softwares. Engine means it's a software. Now, suppose I'm using varchar. I will take a string. So I'm taking a variable. Let the variable be greet or greeting, and the data type is varchar 230. You have to mention the size again. Whenever I write, I assign some value to a variable in PLSQL. What we write, colon equal to. Okay, we write colon equal to and then assign the value. So assignment can also be done in the declare section and can also be done in the begin section. Okay, begin is that executable section. You all are listening? Listening? All of you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
listening?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It's too hodgepodge because time is less. You can understand. That's why many things are coming and I'm not saying it properly. So let me just write hello world. I will give you some notes on PLSQL, okay, so that you can, at home, you can go through it. Hello world, semicolon is required for executable statement, semicolon is required. And now I'm writing begin. The declare section is over. Now I'm coming to the begin section. In the begin section, I want to print that. In order to print, we have to write dbms underscore output, which has a method called put line. This has a method called put line, put underscore line. And then within this method, you write whatever you want within single quotes. I'm writing, oh, achha, this is a variable. So just write the variable. And then end it. After end, you should give a semicolon. Here, first you run, save this. Go to your command prompt.
Ma'am, what was the extension of saving that?
.sql.
Dot.
Sorry. Do one thing. Here you have to, in order to, there is a parameter. Okay, then that parameter should be set before you want to print something in PLSQL. So you have to set it on. It is in off mode. So just write set server output S capital. Server output on. Capital. One minute. All of you go there. You just write set server output on. Okay, in the SQL prompt you write set server output on, and it sets the this parameter on so that we can do the printing. Otherwise, it will not be shown. So just execute your file. R1 no, where it was present. R1 is present. All of you are doing with me? You will do along with me, okay? Give the path. Okay, sorry. Slash. I'm connecting. I did not connect that time. Oh, I
Ma'am,
um
varchar
हाँ
A
हाँ
is missing.
give a front slash, okay? After you give the path of the file, at the rate, then the path, then r1.sql is your file name. Then you just give a slash, and if it shows that PLSQL procedure successfully completed, then your that code is all right. No syntax error is there. But however, it did not display, isn't it? 1 minute. Just write it here. Okay, so I've just instead I've set the parameter in the file itself. You can do that. Clear? Till this, is it done by everyone?
Ma'am, it's giving unable to open file.
Unable to open file. You have done ed.
No, ma'am, at the rate.
Just write. তাহলে path এ গন্ডগোল আছে দেখো, path and file name, just check that. Or don't give at the rate. First you write ed and then give the path and then the file name. Open it. Just see whether you are able to open that or not.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, in my case, that varchar variable is not showing any error.
It is not showing any error.
Like you got an error relating to the varchar.
Oh, my spelling mistake was there. Done? Everybody has done?
Ma'am, it's giving system cannot find the path specified.
Pathটা একটু দেখে নাও. Go to your file and you're in Windows.
Yes, ma'am.
Windows. Then go to properties and copy the path.
I copied it, but
मैम सी ड्राइव में था तो एरर दे रहा था, उसको उठा के डी ड्राइव में डाल दिया तो चल गया.
D drive में ही डाला.
Ma'am, if there is a space in the name or in the directory, it is showing error.
এই দেখো এখন যদি
use
তোমাদের
use
path
quotes, use quotes, use
path
quotes.
নিয়ে if I have to say, then it's very
Put the path in quotes.
ম্যাম আমারটা রান করার পরে 6 7 8 9 এরকম করে করে চলে আসছে। আই ডোন্ট নো ওয়াই, কি হচ্ছে বুঝতে পারছি না।
front slash দিয়েছো?
লাস্টেরটাতে আগে ফ্রন্ট স্ল্যাশ দেবো?
@ লেখার পরে when you get a number, just write front slash.
আচ্ছা,
Okay, so I have concatenated. You can see I've concatenated this using the concatenation operator. This was the operator that we have already learned. So I have concatenated a string with this variable. Okay. Now, can I move forward? Can I move? Let us write a simple program. Although we don't write these programs, but just to show you that loop and other things how to use, I will ask you to write a program to calculate the prime of a number and whether it is prime or not for a number that has been entered by the user. So we will learn many things when we do this program. So what we are doing, we are first of all we have to take a value from the user, and then we have to check whether it is prime or not, and accordingly we have to display. Okay. Now I'm doing in this same program. Let me remove this. Let me give another name. r2.sql. Just give me 1 minute. Leg is paining a lot.
Ma'am, when I entered ed command, then it will open that file.
Buffer. Ed, just don't write ed. When you just write ed, it will open the buffer, and in the buffer what is present, the last executed statement, successfully executed statement is present. Okay, last successfully executed code or statement, whatever you write or command, that is present when you only write ed. So if this is your last executed, then no problem. But if it is not your last executed command, then you should always write ed, then path and the file that you want to open. So ed is just hold for 1 minute. 1 minute, just 1 minute. It's visible? This one? Notepad is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, prime number. So what we have to do in case of prime number, first of all, we have to take a variable, isn't it, where I will take the number from the user. So let me take a variable, num. It will be of number type. So number, size, and maybe other variables is required. We will take it later on. So let me take begin. And how I take inputs from the user. How I take inputs. In order to take inputs from the user, we use the same variable colon equal to. Always we write colon equal to, then ampersand address of the variable name. This is the method of taking inputs from the user. Since we are finding out this prime number, whatever is the logic, let me just for, how do I write for? Just see, for I in 2 dot. When I start with 2, I should initialize with 2. I go till the number. You can do here any, this logic is not a very efficient one. You will change it. How do I find prime? Is it required to go till number? Till the number? Is it we go on dividing?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So we generally
A
do
square root.
root. We do root, or some of you do num by 2. You will do that. Okay. Just I'm writing this to show you the syntax, how to do. So for this, I write the keyword loop. Okay, so I enter the for loop now. Indentation is always better if you do. Now, if we use mod method to find out the modulus. Okay, mod sum1 is a variable, and I divide it by I. Isn't it? I contains the values. So if it is equal to 0, then colon equal to, I'm incrementing f, which was initialized to 0 maybe. And if every if, all these things should be ended. Okay, so end if semicolon, end loop. I'm ending the for loop, end loop, and then check whether if f is what. So if f is equal to 1, then sorry, it will be double equal. If f is equal to 1, then I will print. So in order to print, what I write, dbms underscore output, that put line method I have to call. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Then you print prime or not prime. You have it. Else again print, and then end if, and then end. Okay, print those and take the declare the variable here. F also has to be declared. So f, which is also number, give a value. Do it, complete this, and check whether you're getting the output or not.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, could you explain this one once again, ma'am?
Konta? Prime.
Yeah,
I can only say you the syntax. Logic to what I will explain. How do I take I have declared two variables in the declare section. Mute yourself. I have declared two variables in the declare section. Then I have taken a number from the user. These logic part, you know how to write. I have used a loop. How do I write a loop? I, for I, in, I start with 2 and I go till num1. You could have written here a better one, num by 2 or any other logic, efficient one. But why I did not show you this? Because see, our objective is not to write prime number, factorial, all these things using PLSQL. Our objective is something else. But only to show you how to write a for loop, how to write a if condition, I'm showing you this program. So you are writing the condition here. It starts with 2. I have written here 2 dot dot and then till what you want to divide. Okay. Next, the keyword loop, and then if num1 divided by I, the modulus value, if it is 0, then I have incremented f. F was initialized to 0, and a loop is ended. This is if condition. When you write an if condition, you should use a then, and this is the printing. In the else also, you have to do the printing, whether it is prime or not prime. And after you complete your else, you have to end the end if, and then end your begin section, begin section. This is the overall syntax of writing a program. Now you change wherever change is required, and then show me the output.
Ma'am, I'm getting error. String not found.
Where?
Ma'am, during compilation. I'm doing, yes, ma'am.
String not found.
Yes, ma'am.
Which line you're getting error?
Ma'am,
Show me.
in the third you used a number and don't use the right bracket. Third line.
No, I have. Where?
A starting third line, ma'am. Yes, num1, number 10.
So I said I don't see all these things. There are mistakes in the program. You correct it, the syntax I showed you, correct it, and then show me the output.
And ma'am, I am getting encountered the sample equals to when expecting one of the following, all cases mode new or something.
Go to your show me the code.
Can I say?
Wait, let me stop.
I am getting this error. Error at line 9.
Go to your program.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. This is one.
Double equal to, you're getting error. Just write dot equals.
Ma'am, single equal to is working actually.
Single equal to is working, na? Achha, just write single equal to. This is the thing here. Double equal to. Comparison operator. Double equal to doesn't work in if.
Can I recheck?
This will work.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is working.
Acha. Suppose all of you do one thing. Create a table. Fast you will do. Create a table area. Create a table area with 2 columns. Radius is one of the column, and the next column is area. Create a table area where radius is one of the column and area is the second column. Instead of giving the same name, you can give area of circle as the second column. Now what we will do,
And could you repeat the question again?
create a table, area or area of a circle, give the name area of circle or area, whatever you want, and then create two columns in that table. One is radius, another one is the area value. Radius will be number data type, and this area will be number data type, but give some fraction, give in this way numeric, and then give uh, 5,2. 5,2 numeric data type means what? Total 5 digits will be there, and after the decimal 2 digits will be there. Scale and precision. It is known as scale and precision. Done? What is it, radius? Table created. Everybody has created this. Now what we will do, as I said, PLSQL is not used for writing programs. We have other better programming languages. Here we write something which is associated with the database. Okay. So what I will do, um, we will calculate the area. We will compute the area for a radius ranging from, suppose, 3 to 7. Write a PLSQL. The question is, my screen is visible? Screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Write a PLSQL. Write a PLSQL code block. Calculate area of a circle for a value of radius ranging from 3 to 7, 8, whatever you want. Then store the radius and the corresponding area in a table named area underscore circle. This is the question. Okay. So for this, what we have to do, we have to write a very small PLSQL program. So let me, everybody has written the question. Let me go there, open a file editor. Open an editor, and then what we will write, how we will do this. So what basically what we have to do is we have to calculate the area for 3. Once we will calculate the area for radius 4, we will calculate the area for radius 5, we will calculate the area till we will go till 7. Okay, and then don't make it 7, we can also make it a large number. We can also use a large number. Let it be till 100. So we will calculate. Hey, just hold for 1 second. The phone আসছে. Hello? হ্যাঁ, না ওদেরকে বলা হয়নি, ওদেরকে আমি বলে দিচ্ছি, ওরা কিন্তু কেউ ফোন টোন করেনি। Okay, sorry. So what I was saying, what I will do is we have to, so we will use a loop. Okay, why I'm using a loop? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha.
Yes,
So we will use a loop. The loop, after entering the loop, we will calculate the area, and then whatever area we calculate, every time we will do inside the loop, we will do an insertion statement. Where I will insert? I will insert into that area table that I have just now created. Okay. Now, next point is, so I will declare a variable. I require many variables, isn't it? So what is the first variable that I require? I require the radius variable, and the area. Oh no, radius is not required. Acha. Area is required because area has to be calculated. So let me declare a variable var underscore area. What will be the data type? If I give a random data type for area, then it will, while insertion, you might get an error because while creating the table, listen carefully, while creating the table, you have given a particular data type, isn't it? And the size is something. Here, if you declare a random, either you can remember that data type and then give it here, but it is not possible because maybe you are writing the program sometime later or some days later. So what there is an option that I give the exact data type, whatever is present in that table. But how do I do that? I mention the table name. The table name is area. What was the spelling I gave? Area underscore circle. Isn't it? I gave this name. Just now I created. Where did it go? Area underscore circle. Okay. So this is the name I gave. So I will mention the table name. Then I will mention the column name. The column name was, I will use it using dot. The column name was area. And then you will write percentage type. So what will happen? Whatever is the data type and size of the area column present in the area underscore circle table, that exact data type will be the data type for var underscore area variable. Okay, this is generally this is done instead of randomly giving some number or varchar or something. If you want to access the database and if you think that this particular variable's value will be affecting the table, then you should do this way of declaring the variable. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear? Now I will write.
How to comment in?
Comment is percentage. Just check. I forget this comment. So many languages. They percentage no or slash. Check. I forgot.
It's okay.
I got confused because.
Two hyphens is comment.
Two
Hyphens is comment.
I always get confused about the comment lines because few days back I did Python. There they have a different comment lines everywhere. Comment lines. Check kore now. Net begin. So now I will execute a loop, isn't it? So for I in I start from 3. I said we are going to calculate have the radius value from 3 to 7, 5, 8, whatever you want. So 3 to 8, and then the keyword loop, and then calculate the area. All of you do this on your own. Calculate the area. So area colon is equal to 3.14. You could have taken it in a variable also. 3.14 into I square, isn't it? So I into I. SQRT is a function. You could have used POW and SQRT. These functions methods could also have been used. Now what we will do, we will insert within the loop. So I'm writing insert into, what is the command for insert? Insert into, hello? What I will write?
Values.
If I don't remember the order, If you don't remember the order in which maybe the table has many columns, so you will not remember the order in which it was created. So you will mention your own order by giving a bracket and then write the column names in your own order. And whichever order you mention here, you give the values accordingly. But here I only have 2 columns, so I remember the order. Hence, I give the value. So what is the first value?
Radius.
Radius. So I. And what is the next value? The calculated area. So it is var underscore area. So these are the 2 values that will get inserted for each radius value. So how many times the insertion is taking place? From 3 to 8 it is taking place. Okay. So end loop. Then end. Run it. Close the editor. While running, you cannot open the editor and then do, otherwise it gets hanged. Oh, okay. Now just let us check. Select start from area underscore circle. So it got inserted, and these are the radius and these are the area. Okay. Don't forget to give commit. Commit could also have been given in the PLSQL file. There also you could have written commit. Okay, when you are inserting, you just write commit. Clear? Done? Everybody has completed?
Yes.
Can anybody show me? Wait, let me ask once. Because continuously I am talking and whom I did not ask any day. Prashant Kumar, roll number 81. Prashant Kumar, can you share your screen and show me the result of...
Ma'am, I'm getting radius as 1 only.
Radius as 1.
Ma'am, are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Every time you are getting 1.
Yes, ma'am.
And area is different.
And you see the...
this is 1 or I. Insert into area circle is 1.
It should be I. I'm here now.
Save, run it once more. Select.
Yes.
Okay. Now see why your these 1 were there, because again you are executing. The table is already there, isn't it? So again, if you execute your program, it will get appended with the previous result. So 1 minute, Prashant Kumar, don't don't go out. Wait, let me ask someone else. I will ask whom I did not ask. Acha, Arjo Paul 74. Can you tell me 74 Arjo Paul? Can you tell me how I will remove the previous the records which are erroneous records in Prashant's table? The records whose radius is 1, I will remove those. How I will do that? কাকে জিজ্ঞেস করলাম? আর্য পল
Yes, ma'am.
বলতে পারবে? কি চেয়েছি আমি? I will remove the records.
The one.
হ্যাঁ, যেখানে radius is 1. Prashant Kumar, wait. Can you maximize your screen?
Okay, ma'am.
হলো না তাই তো? আর্যপল হলো না। আচ্ছা, নীলেশ প্যাটেল 71.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me?
Yes, ma'am. I have to share, ma'am.
Don't share. Just tell me. Arjo will write. Sorry, Prashant Kumar will write.
What I have to say, ma'am?
What I have to say.
Ma'am, I was not following.
What you were doing?
Ma'am, I was just compiling that program I wrote.
I want to delete the records because Prashant Kumar has some erroneous records. One area is this, again radius 1 area is this. So I want to remove these values. Wherever 1 is there in the radius, I want to remove those.
Ma'am, update that part and the new is equals to new.
Prashant, write. Update. Nilesh, you tell and Prashant will write.
Yes, ma'am. Equals to
update areas are equal to.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, underscore that part we want to.
That.
Ma'am, I don't.
Ma'am, we have to delete.
Wait. इतना दूर हो गया. PLSQL I'm teaching you and you cannot say how to remove those. Wait, I will ask. Let me check what is the status. Ritika Ganguly 64.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me? What I want? What is the question? You know?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you told to update the records of the area of the circle.
Update the table or do something. I don't know whether you will update or what you will do. I don't know. Do something such that the erroneous records that Prashant has in his table will get removed. When he is not there. Acha, let me go to. Will you be able to say, Ritika?
No, ma'am.
Let me go to Debasrita 61. Debasrita.
Yes, ma'am.
What you will do? If you cannot, you just say no. Okay, because we are running out of time. Krishanu Nondi 59. কি করতে হবে? আমি না ছেড়ে দেবো, পড়াবো না তোমাদেরকে আর। তোমাদের পড়াবো না, কিচ্ছু পড়নি তোমরা, কিচ্ছু বোঝনি, কিচ্ছু না, ওয়েস্টেজ অফ টাইম অ্যান্ড মাই এনার্জি। খুব বাজে লাগছে আমার, আর পড়াবো না আমি, যাও আর PLSQL পড়তে হবে না তোমাদের। বিকজ ইফ ইউ ক্যানট সে দিস, ইট ইজ মানে নট জাস্টিফাইড টু টিচ ইউ PLSQL। Shagun Goel 42.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me?
Ma'am, I think we have to use delete statement.
Tell the statement to Prashant.
Delete from table name area
right.
circle where radius
One
equal to
minute.
1.
Let him write. Delete from area circle where
I'm not sure, but I think where radius equal to 1.
now you're sure. Is it okay to everyone? So just a delete statement you could not say, but you have all of you have given the assignments. So many assignments I had given. Everybody has completed more or less. So from where did you do all these things? From WhatsApp? You all got from others? You all copied it from others? You cannot see a delete statement. If I only keep it as it is, whatever Shagun said, if I keep it as it is, what is the problem that will happen? What I have to do after this? What should I do after this? Just when 6 rows got deleted, what should I do? Prashant, what should I do?
Ma'am, I should commit.
Commit. Very good. So just write commit. Acha, wait. Acha, commit is done. Instead of commit, if I wanted to get back those records, what should I have done?
Ma'am, roll back.
Roll back. Now, another question to someone else to whom I will ask. Many people are leaving. Ma'am will ask me, so let's leave. I will ask, I think she acha, roll number 46. 46. Prashansa, you are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me, Prashant Kumar just said me that I will roll back if I want to, suppose by mistake Shagun has said that delete statement and it got deleted. Now he said that we will roll back so that the records again gets into his table. Okay? So delete will not take place, we will roll back the transaction. If I want to roll back partially, if I only write roll back, it will roll back the full transaction. If I want to roll back partially to a particular position, then what I write?
Save point.
Very good. Save point. Okay. Fine. Now close it. Prashant Kumar, close.
Yes, ma'am. Stop sharing.
Okay. Write a query again. All of you write a query. Let me share. Is it visible? My screen is visible. Write a PLSQL code to I'm very disappointed with majority students cannot answer. Write a PLSQL block of code that, write the question first, that first inserts a record in an EMP table. That first inserts a record in an EMP table. Update. সামনের বুধবার, হ্যাঁ।
ওকে ম্যাডাম, থ্যাংক ইউ। সকাল 9টা আপনি একটু করে দিন টাইম।
In an EMP table, update. এই নটা নিও না, এই 1 minute. সন্দীপ, নটা নিও না, একটু পরের দিকে নাও।
12টা।
হ্যাঁ বলো, 12, কারণ 9টায় তো পৌঁছতে পারবো না।
তোমরা তো ট্রেনে আছে।
ট্রেনেও 9টায় পৌঁছতে পারবে না। হ্যাঁ, কারণ ট্রেন তো ঢোকেই 11:30টা। আমি 9টাটা খেয়াল করিনি। আচ্ছা, update the salary of Stephen was one of the employees, so update the salary of Stephen and name any other. What name did I give? Suppose ABC is another name of an employee, and ABC by rupees 2000 and rupees 1500 respectively. Then next check to see na check money to see check whether the total salary is greater than 30,000 or not. Greater na lekho, exceeds lekho. Total salary exceeds 30,000 or not. 30,000 or not. If the total salary is greater than 30,000, then undo the updates made to the salaries of Stephen and ABC. Read the question.
আপনি একটু ম্যাডাম একটু কাইন্ডলি কনফার্ম করে দিন না এখনই দেখুন।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা আপনি তাহলে দেখুন ডেটটা চেঞ্জ হয়েছে কিনা একটু জাস্ট কনফার্ম করে। পেশেন্টের নাম অশ্বিনী কুমার সিনহা।
ওটা কি 10টায় করা যাবে? So what you have to do in this question, if you go through it, first of all, we have to insert a record into the EMP table. So just in the PLSQL block, you will write an insert statement. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
You will write an insert statement and you will insert record into the EMP table. This is the first thing that you have to do. Next, what you have to do? You also have to write an update statement. What you will update? You will update the salary of Stephen, the person whose name is Stephen, and the person whose name is ABC. So you will update their salary by how much? Stephen's salary will be updated by 2,000 and ABC's salary will be updated by 1,500. Okay. Next, now what you have to do, after the insert is over, update is over, now you have to check. Checking is done by a what? PLSQL, that if-else statement. So you have to check whether the total salary means what? Some salary, sum was a function, you remember? Group function? Like we have max, we have mean, so sum was also there. Sum, if I write sum salary, that means it calculates the total salary of all the employees. So you have to fetch the sum salary from the table and store it in a variable. Once you store it in a variable, now you have to write the if condition, and if you have to check whether that sum salary value exceeds 30,000 or not. If it exceeds 30,000, then we are not going to update. So what we will do? We will undo the updates. That means we will do rollback. Undo only the updates, not the insert. Remember, your full transaction is one insert and updates. So I will only undo rollback till a particular position so that the insertion takes place, but the updation doesn't take place. So you have to use a save point also. Understood the question? Question is understood? Yes or no?
And what all records will they enter now?
You can enter any records. That is upon you. Now you can try this question only if I say you one thing. Just listen. I said I have to calculate the sum salary, isn't it? How I will calculate sum salary? I have to obviously write a select statement. So I will write select salary, and I will fetch this sum salary value into a variable. Okay. So I will write select sum salary into, I do in this manner, into a variable. Let the variable be var underscore sal. So var underscore sal will hold the sum salary that you are calculating from the EMP table. This is your selecting the sum salary, and now you will write if else. Your var underscore salary is containing the sum salary value. Now you will write if else statement to find out whether it exceeds 30,000 or not. If it exceeds 30,000, then you do rollback till the save point. Otherwise, you commit and display something that updation completed. ঠিক আছে, একটু ট্রাই করো তো। All of you try this. Many students are leaving. Why? I will ask. That's why. Okay. Let me check. Sneha Chatterjee. Sneha Chatterjee, can you show
Yes,
me
ma'am.
what are you doing? Can you show me? Share your screen.
ম্যাম এখন ঠিক কিছুই করিনি, বুঝতে পারছি না PLSQL টা।
একটা লাইনও করনি?
না মানে লিখেছি ডিক্লেয়ার, তারপরে ওগুলো লিখেছি কিন্তু বুঝতে মানে ঠিক বুঝে করছি না আর কি,
ঠিক
বুঝতে
আছে,
পারি না।
শেয়ার করো, স্ক্রিনটা শেয়ার করো, আমি বলে যাব।
আচ্ছা
আচ্ছা একটু ওয়েট করো, দাঁড়াও, আমি আরেকটু দেখে নি কে করেছে, একটু এগিয়েছে। অজিত কুমার 86, have you done
Yes, ma'am.
proceeded little bit?
मैं रन नहीं कर रहा, हमसे कोड लिखे नोटपैड में।
हाँ कोड लिखे हो
Column
तो ठीक है, तुम कोड तब शेयर करो।
नो मेरा प्रोग्राम कोड नहीं किया मैम, मेरा सॉरी मैम, नहीं किया मैंने, मेरा नहीं किया,
नहीं किए
ट्राई कर रहे थे।
अच्छा ठीक है। आर्यन रोल नंबर 80, देखो I don't माने don't worry, I don't want that fully executed code, no, just show me little bit if you have done so that I can carry on from that part. Aryan Kumar, are you there? Aryan Kumar is not there.
Ma'am, roll number 17 or roll 80?
80. 80. Then whom I will ask, who can show me little bit, who has written mane at least few lines.
Ma'am, I don't know how to use rollback. Can you please explain?
I will show. Anyone else has written little bit about the program?
Yes, ma'am.
Every time same students say yes. Same students. Any new students? अच्छा साकेत, you have written?
मैम
थोड़ा सा, हाँ ठीक है, शेयर स्क्रीन करो, हम बता देंगे लेकिन थोड़ा सा तो लिखना चाहिए। साकेत शेयर स्क्रीन करो, स्क्रीन शेयर करो।
कर रहा हूँ मैम, इज इट विजिबल?
Not yet.
मैम मैंने शेयर कर दिया।
कैसे आ रहा है?
मैम 1 मिनट, शेयरिंग अगेन। मैम अब विजिबल है?
नहीं
मैम मैं कर रहा हूँ शेयर, इधर से नेटवर्क इशू की वजह से नहीं आ रहा होगा।
अच्छा ठीक है।
मैम शेयर तो हो रहा
है शेयर?
यस मैम।
लेकिन कुछ विजिबल तो नहीं है, मुझे तो सिर्फ the participants list is
यस मैम, his net not sharing.
you share तुम entire screen, then you select the notepad, the editor wherever you are writing. Now it's visible, Saket. You maximize the screen.
One minute.
ठीक है हाँ, it's all right. Okay, now what Saket has done, he has taken a salary variable where I will fetch the sum salary. Okay, so he has taken a salary variable, but here Saket, first point is not only Saket, I am telling to everyone, all of you will listen. This variable salary में क्या value रहेगा, माने what value will be there, what value it will store, this var salary, it will store ultimately the sum salary.
Sum of salaries, ma'am.
Sum of salary माने salary, isn't it? The data type क्या होगा उसका? We should not take number 20 because it is storing some data which was present in your table. It will fetch, it will hold some data which is present in your table column, isn't it? So we should do that, we should remove that. From which table it is storing the data? EMP table. So employee dot from which column? Salary column. Percentage type. Clear? Okay. Next. Begin. ठीक है. Now you are inserting.
मैम मैंने बस 3 कॉलम का इंसर्ट किया वैल्यूज, अभी सारा का नहीं किया.
ठीक है. नल हो जाएगा बाकी का.
हाँ नल हो जाएगा.
अच्छा, next you have written commit. No, don't write commit. If you write commit, then the transaction will end. माने insertion करने का बाद transaction खत्म हो जाएगा, नया transaction. So don't write commit. You can do one thing. You can write a save point here. एक marker, create a marker position so that we can do partial rollback. So यहाँ पर लिखो save point. Save point. SAVE.
Save point.
SAVE. Save point. Point. Then give a name. Space. Give a name. Let it be S1. Any name.
Yes, ma'am.
Semicolon. Now you write the update statement. What is your update statement? Update employee set salary is equal to salary plus 2000, where EMP name is equal to E1. E1 is your name.
Ma'am, sorry ma'am, it's Steven ma'am.
Acha, and next one, another update statement. Salary where EMP name is equal to whatever name you have in your table, give that name.
Yes, ma'am.
Done. So
yes,
update statement is over. Very good. Till now it's.
Ma'am, it will give error.
Why? What he has
because
written?
employee name should be initial first letter should be capital and other are small.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So now, so it is over. Now what we have to do? Updation is done by us. Now we should fetch the sum salary. Meaning after updation, whatever is your sum salary, total salary kitna hua, that we should fetch from the table. So what you have written? Select sum salary into that variable from employee. No need to write a where clause. Semicolon. Now I
सिर्फ स्टेबल और एबीसी का सम करना है ना?
नहीं पूरा सम सैलरी माने पूरा का.
पूरे टेबल का करना था.
पूरा टेबल का.
ओके मैम, ओके.
टोटल सम सैलरी, टोटल माने टोटल सैलरी. इफ अब हम इफ देके चेक करेंगे कि सम सैलरी क्या ग्रेटर हुआ है देन 30,000. सो सम सैलरी इज स्टोर्ड इन where. If में लिखो, not in the next line. Beside the if keyword, you write yes. Var underscore salary, is it greater than 30,000? Then
we should write then yes ma'am.
First you write एक ये लिखो, give a printing statement, print something that updation failed, because if it is greater then I will not update, isn't it?
Yes,
so just write maybe yes. Updation failed.
Yes, ma'am.
quote send,
And then we
bracket
have
close,
to roll
semicolon.
back. Yes, ma'am.
Then you just roll back. ROLLBACK, roll back. Wait, if I only write roll back, then the full transaction consisting of insert, update, update. Three statements will get rolled back, but I don't want to roll back that insert. So what I will do, roll back to that position. क्या position है वो mark क्या हुआ है? S1. So roll back to S1. Semicolon. Else what? I want to. Else my salary is less than 30,000, so I will commit. So else enter commit.
Yes, ma'am.
Then again print something. DBM is just copy that line and print updation completed. Updation completed. End if.
End of if.
End of if and end of money end.
Yes, ma'am.
Save.
Is it visible?
Run. Don't write slash. Write at the rate.
1 minute now.
Slash.
Updation failed, ma'am.
Updation failed. Why it just go to your table, select salary. Just select salary. Don't select so many things. अच्छा ठीक है. Because when you add yes. Okay, now go to the code once more. It is very, it will obviously be greater than 30,000. Now go to your code once more. Just change this value. Make it 30,000. Just
10 lakhs.
10 lakhs से ज़्यादा करो नहीं तो नहीं आएगा. It will go to the if only. बहुत बड़ा डेटा करो.
20 लाख.
सेव किए हो?
हाँ. Unique constant. मैम कोई constant value.
Insert कियो ना? That insert statement was executed. Again, you are doing the same insert.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, may I delete that?
Now change that insert record.
Okay, ma'am.
Go to
insert a new record.
Insert a new record. E8. Make it E8.
No, ma'am.
Name can be same, but
yes, ma'am.
The primary key is getting violated.
Is it okay?
Updation completed. Now just check whether it is updated or not. Last time what it was, you remember? Just go to the table. Go to the table. No, it was shown above. Stephen's salary was 67,000 some. No, 6,78,043. And now it is.
We are adding 2,000. Then 2,000. It would be 91. Yes, ma'am, updated.
Updated. Okay. So everybody understood? Do you have any doubt here?
No, ma'am.
All of you understood? Sneha Chatterjee, did you understand now?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but I have a question. Ma'am, Shobert, first day we were writing a set server output on. So
একবার করলেই হয়ে যায়. ঠিক আছে, তুমি যদি সেশনে থাকো and next again if you rejoin then you have to write, but in the same session it works.
Acha. Okay, ma'am.
But the program is clear. What
yes,
we are trying to do.
I was thinking I have to write the queries in the SQL command line. So
Acha, Sani Kumar, rollback is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, others you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, actually, ma'am, he ran this command 2 times.
So
So data will be inserted in 2 times.
no. I'm changing the value for earlier
Yeah,
it was
you
for
change
employee.
the employee ID.
Earlier it was for employee 7. Now it is for employee 8. I'm inserting a new row.
Then both will be inserted.
See.
Okay.
Hello.
হ্যাঁ বলো বলো someone
Sharing stop.
I need
হ্যাঁ
seven
stop
four
করো
three.
Okay, students, many things I have taught you now. I was thinking of teaching you trigger, but I have some work, so I will like to end it. Okay, but if you have 1 minute, trigger cursor, these things I teach, but the wait, I won't be able to give you assignments on trigger and cursor. Okay, I can just show you one. One trigger I can show you, and later on, those who will. Actually, this I shouldn't say. Okay. Listen carefully. Very fast, I will tell you one trigger, very small trigger. I will show you. Um, what is a trigger? Suppose if I see clouds in the sky, then what we generally do whenever we suppose I'm going out and I saw that it is very cloudy, so let me what is the action that I take? The action that I take is I carry a umbrella, isn't it? So this is the action. So what is the event? The event is clouds, or it was raining is the event, and the action is I carried an umbrella or I used a raincoat. This is the action. So trigger is always associated with event and action. There will be an event. Against that event, I will take an action. Okay, there will be an event, and against that event, I will take an action. Okay, now suppose if you remember when I showed you foreign key, even in theory classes, I explained many times that when what are the two const in a foreign key, what are the two things I cannot, what are the two things I cannot do? Can anybody tell me? If I have a foreign key constraint, then what are the two things I cannot do? Or when it will give an error, constraint violated. Can anybody tell me? Tell me fast.
Deletion and updation.
Deletion, no, updation, no. Deletion, what deletion?
Deletion and insertion, ma'am.
Deletion and insertion. What deletion and insertion? When? Can you elaborate?
If a data is present in child table, then we can't delete it from the parent table.
Very good. If a row is referenced in the child table, then I cannot delete it from the parent table. For example, if I have, like, let me go to the, wait, just let me share the screen. If I have, like here, I have manager ID, like if I have E1, manager ID was the foreign key, isn't it? I'm having E1, then in this table, E1 is present in the child. I can consider that
MGR ID is the foreign key, so E1 is present here, and hence in the primary key column, that is the parent table, E1 cannot be deleted. Why I cannot delete E1? Because if I delete E1, then that employee itself is not there. How can that employee be a manager? So if record of E1 is not present, then I can never add E1 as a manager of somebody, because if the employee itself is not present, it cannot act as a manager. Okay. So similarly, this is a self join. If I had a normal table, and suppose if I have a foreign key as department ID, now if in the main table department ID is not there, then in the child table, I cannot have department ID. Table ta thakle bhalo. So so there are two restrictions. One is insertion, another one is deletion. So I cannot remove department ID D1 from the parent table if D1 is present in the child table. Clear? So I cannot remove a record from the parent table if it is present in the child table. In that scenario, what I have to do? I have to first of all delete the record from the child table. Then only I can delete it from the parent table. Mone thakbe? Will you remember this? I
Yes, ma'am.
cannot delete a record from the very important point. I cannot delete a record from the parent table if it is present in the child table. In that scenario, what we do is we delete the record from the child table. Now I'm free, so I can remove it from the parent. Clear? Now, manually deletion, we can handle this using PLSQL. How we can handle this using PLSQL? We can write a trigger against this. Against what? Which event I am writing a trigger? The event of deletion from a parent table. The event will be deletion from a parent table. What will be the action? The action will be whenever a user, maybe this day, that day, any day, whenever a user performs this event of deletion from the parent table, then an action automatically will take place. Automatically, a trigger will be called and it will perform the action. The action will be before deletion from the parent. The action will take place. That is, deletion from the child will take place. Clear? Once the action happens, then the event that I was performing, that will get executed. বোঝা গেছে? I will show you an একদম টাইম নেই আমাদের হাতে। উফ, তো প্রবলেম। তো
Ma'am,
হ্যাঁ
ma'am, we cannot insert anything in that child table directly. It will cause violation, right?
Yes, that is also another restriction, that when there are foreign key, we cannot insert a record in the child table if it is not present in the parent table.
Yeah.
ঠিক আছে? তাহলে if D1 is, suppose I'm inserting D13 in the child table, where D13 is not at all present in the parent table, মানে D13 বলে কোনো department is not there, so I cannot insert it in the child table. This was your insertion restriction. Now I'm talking about your deletion event. Now, how do I write a trigger? What are the types of trigger? Trigger is divided into before trigger and after trigger. Before trigger means before the event happens, before the event gets executed, the action must take place. So first action takes place and then the event is allowed to execute. Or after trigger means first let the event happen, then you perform the action. Let the event execute successfully, then perform the action. Clear? Okay. Now in case of foreign key deletion, that one, what should be the trigger? Whether it will be before trigger or after trigger? What is your event? Your event is anybody trying to delete a record from the parent table. What is your action? First delete from the child, then only you delete from the parent. So action should be done before the event. So it will be a before trigger. Clear? It will be a before trigger. ঠিক আছে?
Yes, ma'am.
অমলদা তুমি চলে যেতে পারো, আমি জাস্ট আর একটুখানি পড়াবো দিয়ে ছেড়ে দেবো এদের।
আচ্ছা
ঠিক আছে।
যদি যদি কাজ থাকে চলো।
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা
হ্যাঁ আমি বেরিয়ে যাচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে।
Now, how do I write a trigger? In order to write a trigger, what we have to do, I will show you the example directly. Let me open a notepad. Somebody was saying something.
I was saying the during updation it will cause violation from both the sides. Even if you update from parent table, it will cause violation, and also in the child table. I was saying.
And if you update in such a manner that that insertion and deletion rule is getting violated, then it will cause a problem. So see, declare. We write a trigger before declare. Okay, first of all we have to create a trigger. How do I create a trigger? Create trigger T1, create trigger T1, and what is next? What we so trigger name is upon you. Whatever you want, you can give, and next you have to write the event. Okay, so what type of trigger I want? In this particular case, I want a before trigger, so I will write before. If you want an after trigger, you will write after. So before, what is the event? You have to mention that. So my event is delete on. It can be any event. You could have written here insert on. You could have written here update on. So update on means any updation on a particular table can be an event. Delete on the table name. Let the table name be parents. Clear? Okay. If you have doubt, you will ask. Now you have to mention whether it is a row trigger or statement trigger. Row trigger means the action will take place per row. Mane each individual record that is getting deleted, the action will take place. So in this case, I will use for each row. For each row, mane whichever row is getting deleted, if 1000 rows are getting deleted, 1000 times the action will take place. Okay. Next you will, so this was your creation of trigger. What did I write? Before the declare, I wrote create trigger, trigger name. Before trigger, so I have written before. What is the event? The event is delete on what table? Parent table. So anybody trying to delete on the parent table, perform a delete operation on the parent table, for each row the action will take place. Now I have to declare some variables and other things. So declare v1 where I have to, now which record is getting deleted I should store, isn't it? Which record is getting deleted? Suppose I am deleting employee ID E1. So that E1 should be stored so that I can perform the action for that E1 record. So I will store it. I will take it from the parent table. Parent dot suppose ID, department ID, parent dot DEPT ID percentage type. Percentage type. Now begin. Now I have to, after deletion or any updation, the record old value and new value concept comes, isn't it? So I want the old value. Why I want the old value? Because before deleting, whatever is the actual value, that should be stored and that should be used as a, in the action that value should be, if I want to delete, if I'm trying to delete D1 department from parent table, then that D1 department, if it is present in the child, it should be deleted from the child. So I should keep a track of that D1 department is to be deleted. So I store it in this V1. And here, while storing, you have to keep in mind, give a space and then write colon, then equal to, give a space and then write colon, and then write old dot V1. Okay. So what we are doing basically, we are taking the old value of the original value, sorry, old dot v1 na? Old dot I department ID. Okay, so whatever it was the department ID, that has to be stored in the v1 variable. You could also have written new dot, after updation I could also take the new value. So then in that case I will write new dot department ID. And here you have to keep in mind that colon equal to colon, two colons are used. Okay, next. Once it is taken, now I will write the action in the beginning. What is my action? My action is delete from child. So delete from the child table. This is a name, okay? Child table name. Delete from child where department ID is equal to what? V1. Okay. End. So you will save this with .sql and then you will run this, and once you run it will show trigger completed, trigger creation completed. When trigger creation completed will be shown, you what happens is against this table the trigger is stored in your system table. Now suppose 2 days later you perform the event. You लिख the event है delete from parent where department ID is equal to D1. Whenever you will write this event, it will go and check whether any trigger is written here or not. So it will find a trigger and it will perform the action. So it will go and delete the record from the child and then it will perform the delete on parent. So you will execute this. ঠিক আছে, আমি আর দেখাচ্ছি না execute করে. You will execute this one and you will run it. If you get any problem, you will tell me, and you have to keep in mind there will be a space here. The space is most probably after v1. You just check it while running. If you get error, you just change it. First of all, you try this one, v1 space colon equal to space colon, then the this value. If department ID is a varchar, if it is a varchar, you should give a quotes. Okay? If the space after this one is not working, then you give a colon here and then give a space here. Okay? But actually it is what I remember is you have to give a space here, then colon equal to, then give a space here and then this one. If it doesn't work, then you give a colon here and then give a space here. Space টা একটু দেখে নেবে, ঠিক আছে? Understood which position I said? First you will try v1 space colon equal to, then give a space and then write colon old dot whatever ID you have, whatever column you have. This is, you will try first. Clear? If you get error in this reference part, in this old dot part, then you try the space here, colon ta ekhane debe and then you give a space. Clear? Okay. Okay. Try this. I'm ending the session. Okay. If you get error, you can obviously you can WhatsApp me or you can mail me. ঠিক আছে?
Ma'am, is this last class of DBMS?
হ্যাঁ, last class.
Ma'am,
Because
exams এ PLSQL থাকবে?
থাকবে। আচ্ছা, এটাই লাস্ট ক্লাস তো আমাকে জেনে নিতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, একটু টুডে ইজ what date?
फोर्थ क्लास है
টুডে ফোর্থ ক্লাস তো হয়ে গেল, 4টে ক্লাসই হয়। যদি আরেকটা পেয়ে যায় তাহলে তো ভালো হয়, তাহলে আমি একটু ভালো করে ডিটেইলসে দেখাবো ট্রিগার কার্সরটা। টুডে ইজ 15th. They did not give us any intimation about the exam. Okay, so I cannot say whether it is the last or not. Because from 1st again you will start your new semester.
1st October
1st October you are starting your new semester. Most probably you will have your lab exam in these remaining weeks. 2 weeks are left, so you will have. So I hope this is only the last. And if you distributed database, if you attend that elective, then let's see what we can complete. Okay.
मैम अटेंडेंस हो गया
अटेंडेंस हो गया
एक्चुअली मेरा बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है यहाँ पे मौसम बहुत खराब था इसलिए
अच्छा
मैम मेरा भी
तुम लोग तो ज्वाइन कर रहे हो फिर
नहीं
लीव
मैम
कर रहे हो
मेरा
कंटिन्यूअसली
मेरा नहीं दिया वो बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट
मैम बारिश हो रहा है यहाँ पे नेटवर्क इशू वाईफाई चल नहीं रहा
attendance so I am not taking I have not taken sir has taken so you can contact him Amol sir ठीक है चलो I'm ending okay thank you all of you
थैंक यू मैम
थैंक यू